All right, welcome to the LA Sub Show. My name is Gio Garcia, and today is Tuesday, July 28th. We got my man Gustavo with us again. Gustavo, how you doing?
How you doing, Gio? Everyone, hello to everyone who's watching on the live stream. Thank you for tuning in. Ready to talk some soccer. LAFC are through.
Yeah, LFC are through a big game. Ended up winning 4-1. It was really excited to see. It was a full team effort. You saw that they had like high pressure from like the start of the game. They really had the high press, and they really
Yeah.
had Seattle on their toes. And what I really like what Bob Bradley did, and he brought the high intensity. Seattle Sounders, for majority of the game, played into LAFC's hands, and they played the type of style that LAFC wanted to play. Anytime that the Sounders had the ball, there was pressure on them, and they always had to play from the back, and that's typically how LAFC likes teams to play.
hmm
And everything from in that first half was so smooth. They ended up getting that penalty. Diogo Rossi got his penalty, scored the first goal to kind of give LAFC, and then just things went on from there. He ended up scoring two goals. He now has 7 goals in this tournament. He's off to a great start. What'd you make of this game?
Yeah, very high intensive LAFC. From the first minute of the game, you saw how, like you said, the high pressure on top, pretty much not giving Seattle that space to come out and play. Yeah, it was a really also apart from Sounders who came out on this game very sloppy, especially on the defensive side. A lot of mistakes that really cost the team. But yeah, LAFC took advantage of those mistakes and got a little revenge from that game of last year in the Western Conference Final. But you see, I mean, LAFC without Carlos Vela, still a powerful team. You have players like Atuesta, Blessing, Kay, as well as Rossi putting the team on their back, and it shows that the depth that this team has. And I think it's a good sign for LA to defeat and knock out the defending champions of MLS.
Yeah, and it's a bittersweet. I mean, it's a great feeling, and I know Latif was very happy after beating them. You know, after they got knocked out of the group stage. They knocked them out again. The Seattle Sounders beat AFC at home. So I know this was definitely a game that Bob Bradley won and the rest of the players. One thing that I want to add is Kenneth Vermeer was a starter for the match, and I know a lot of came down to like it was between him and obviously Pablo Cisnegas, and a lot of people did not know which way Brad Bradley would go. And I did a
Mhm.
couple polls. I did a poll on Instagram, and then I did a poll on Facebook, and also on Twitter. And all three of the polls, fans wanted game. Um, uh, he all the 10 players ahead of him that were not really easy. Too much to worry about until like the second half, when the Seattle Sounders ended up scoring. One thing that what I did think is that Bob Bradley substituted Wright Phillips at halftime for El Munir, and I thought that was just very interesting. We didn't get to ask him after the game why was that sub. And then, as you know, if you're watching the game, El Munir also ended up getting subbed out for Danny Musovski, and El Munir got subbed after they made that first goal. So that was just one thing note to add, and I just want to ask you, what do you think of that substitution?
Yeah, something different, not accustomed to what Bob Bradley does with LAFC. But yeah, that was one of the big surprises because you are leading 2-0 at halftime. Still, Wright Phillips also only 45 minutes played. Not as much minutes as the first 3 games that he has played in the group stage. But I think uh, Bob Bradley knew, he had a feeling that this team was not going to step off the gas now all night long. Yeah, they did had a fluke late in the game that gave Seattle hope and felt alive in the last 10 minutes. But another like costly mistake by Arriaga, who had a horrible night, giving that penalty, and as well the last mistake against Brian Rodriguez, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
But I think it was pretty much all LAFC all night long, and I felt Bob Bradley had all the advantage and trust in his players that they were gonna hold into this lead all game.
Yeah, I think after, to me, it's like once the Sounders scored that first goal, that's when the things started getting interesting. And then as soon as I tweeted this out, as soon as they scored a goal, I was like, expect to see some subs.
Hmm.
So instantly you saw the subs that Bob Bradley made in the 80th minute. Mark Anthony came out for Francisco Janela, and then Mohamed Monir came in, or went out for Danny Masovsky. And that to me was just like, after those subs happened, you start things to change, and that's when Diego Rossi scored his a second goal in the 83rd minute to give LAC at that time 3-1 lead. And then another cool thing later down in the game, Brian Rodriguez, he was able to score his second goal of the tournament and just boost his confidence even
Right.
more. And that's what you want to see out of LAFC. We know what can Rossi do, but we also want to see that type of finish that Brian Rodriguez can do.
Hmm.
And I like that he's starting to grow his confidence, and he's
Right.
starting to get goals like that.
And let's talk about Rossi, Gio. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this guy pretty much putting the team on his shoulder with Vela
Mm-hmm.
missing 7 goals in the tournament. I believe that's the most in the MLS tournament right now. And I think he pretty much is showing what type of player he is. Not scared of the big moments. You're missing a player like Carlos Vela who scored more than 30 goals last season, and Rossi not so many as compared to Vela last year, but still like showing the potential he has as a right winger. I'm sorry, left winger, and I think he has the potential to make sure that this team's okay, especially during transitions. It's a fast team, a quick team who has quick players like Blessing, K, Atuesta, all the youngsters. It's a young team. That's what it's exciting about this team. It's a lot of 20 plus years old players, and I think it's a good thing to see LA build. It's kind of giving that hope to build not just on the short term, but as well as a long term. We're
What's up?
back.
We're back. All right. Well, we'll just get it. We'll just get. I'll start it, and then we'll just get it going from there. And I'll just leave it off, and then we'll get back into the Rossi thing.
All right.
What's up, guys? And we're back. We just had some technical difficulties, but we'll get it going again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we were just talking about Rossi and the big impact that he's been having, obviously for LAFC. And can you go a little bit more in depth? Obviously, we know he has 7 goals in 4 games, but I don't know if you saw like on Instagram, like MLS did this thing of how many clubs, how many goals Rossi had. He has more goals by himself than a lot of other MLS clubs. I don't know if you saw on Instagram, which was really really interesting. I wish I would have pulled up the but
Graph.
yeah, put it. It's quite a few teams.
I
Um,
mean, I wouldn't doubt it because if you saw the games in that group stage, there was a lot of games that were low scoring games. Whether
mhm.
there were 1-0, 2-0 probably. I think the most goals that they had in the group stage of in the first round, it was the LAFC against Port was it Houston Dynamo, which was a 3-3.
Yeah,
So I mean, I think Rossi himself pretty much outscoring the other teams. It's possible because of that the big impact, and I believe LAFC has the most goals in this tournament so far. Still beating San Jose, who pretty much trash Real Salt Lake last night too, 5-2. And I think either they're 1 or 2 goals above San Jose on that category. But I think it shows the power potential that Rossi has. Even as a young player, the leadership that he has with the other players, not just the young ones, but also the veterans, as with Wright Phillips. They get very well along in the field, and I think that's a big impact for LAFC in this tournament.
yeah, and you just had the leadership thing. Obviously, you're kind of seeing him mature as we go. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously he's still very young, but this may potentially be his final season with LAFC. I know a lot of teams were interested, and his goal has been him and Eduardo Tuesta's goal has been to go play in Europe.
Right.
And you see that without a doubt, that's going to happen for both of those players. Especially the way he's taken over and being, like you said, the leader in this team. And I've also heard that he's doing that in the locker room too. And just the way he plays on the field, you just kind of show, okay, like, yeah, you got Bradley Wright Phillips there, but you know who's really holding it down for LAFC on the offensive end. And also, I just want to give credit to Bob Bradley as well. They haven't missed a beat, even with Carlos Vela. All those goals. I think they had I think going into the game they had like 11 goals in like 3 or 4 games. I think now with this game, they've added more. Wish I had the stat, but yeah, they haven't really missed the beat. There's just certain things that you still kind of see from LAFC, but I think we saw that they fixed a lot of the issues, a lot of those concerns. And one thing that I saw a lot from this team from LAFC yesterday, a lot players were dropping back to play defense. I saw Bradley Wright Phillips back. I saw Rossi drop back. I saw even Brian Rodriguez drop back and play defense because they didn't. It was all 10 players that were dropping back, and they didn't want the Sounders to take advantage or be able to have a lead in this game. And I'm very interested to see the quarterfinal game against Orlando City.
Hmm.
It's going to be a very interesting game. Obviously, Orlando City, and they're in the home market. They ended up beating Montreal Impact 1-0, and they've had kind of tight games, except for the first game against NYCFC, which they beat them 3-1. With Philadelphia, they're 1-1. This game's on Friday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's going to be a very exciting game. You just see LAFC has all this momentum going, and you do want to see them eventually. I mean, you do want to see them get all the way to the final. Anything can happen from there.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's gonna be a great matchup. Two teams that that have shown a lot of, I would say, consistency in this tournament. I mean, you saw Orlando City beating Inter Miami FC in the last minute in the opening game with a goal from Nani. And I think it's if there's two teams that need to prove something, is these two. In my opinion, Orlando City has never made the playoffs in their history, their short history, I should say, and LAFC, who has been pretty much left shorthanded in the last stages of the playoffs. So I think a lot of stake in this tournament for them too, because they want to make a point. They want to pretty much make it believe that they're here to win titles in the long run and make a dynasty out of this tournament or the MLS tournament. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a great matchup. I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully, we have a live stream perhaps right after the game to talk about the things we saw and stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun matchup. And to mention to the comment that you said about Rossi outscoring teams from this tournament, is it has been 19 teams who
Wow.
he has outscored so far. Only including Atlanta, well, LA Galaxy, Inter Miami, Portland, as well as Real Salt Lake, and other teams that have been eliminated. But yeah, it's a lot of clubs for Rossi to to beat in that
Yeah,
category.
it's just like a funny thing. I saw that people also in the comments they're like, "Don't forget about Nashville FC,
Oh yeah,
Nashville
and
and FC
Dallas.
Dallas." I saw that. I was like, that made me laugh, and I was like, "That's true." He's also outscored
And
them.
talking about these two teams, Gio, the Dallas and Nashville, after those two teams who reportedly were reported that there was a lot of cases of COVID-19, the league did pretty much a well job, has done a good job in maintaining zero cases so far after those two teams have dropped out. I mean, things were getting worse as you saw, like those teams, two teams drop out, and then you getting games rescheduled or canceled. And I think the MLS did a great job so far. Has done a great job so far in this type of situation to maintain the players healthy, which is mostly important.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's a great point to add because they haven't had any cases since the teams, and they were able to contain that situation. And I know we'll get into this maybe some other time, but it's going to be very interesting. One teams do go back to the market because I believe August 22nd is what the Athletic reported, and that's when teams are planning to play in a home market. So we'll see how that happens. Because we're seeing what's going on with baseball right now.
Yeah,
So it's like, and it's tricky because it's also like there's a lot more. I'm assuming there's a lot more baseball players and just
yeah. There's more
everything that
personnel, pretty much.
there's pretty much just more personnel, so it's tricky to try to get them under a bubble and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, hopefully everything kind of just dies down with that. But yeah, moving on to this game, I think it's a very like you said, a very important game for both clubs. What you mentioned about Orlando City. And the biggest thing at the end of all this, the winner of this tournament is going to get a bid to the CONCACAF Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. So that
Right.
that
Hmm.
is very very exciting and very important. And if you can do that without doing it without Carlos Vela and winning it, you kind of just shows what type of coach Bob Bradley is, but also shows what type of team this is, and it shows that they're actually building a team, and it's not run by, this team not necessarily doesn't depend on a player. It's the
Right.
system, and that's what you want to build a team for years. And that's what we have with LAFC. And I don't want to bash any of LA Galaxy fans, but
I mean, they pretty much just depended on Zlatan last year.
they exactly
Not,
they just
to be
they did
honest.
they depend on Zlatan, but not just that. At least they were winning. They were with
Yeah,
this. I don't even know
what
they
they're
got going
playing.
on, what they're
Yeah,
playing, who they're playing, and I understand they're missing a lot of players as well. But I know that a lot of LA Galaxy fans are not happy. A lot of just different things are going on there. I think more things need to be addressed, and hopefully with this transfer window, they're able to address certain things. And I do understand that the thing that happened with Katai, you know, but I just think they don't have right now a team or a system. I don't think you don't really know their identity or
right.
who they are, and I think, and I'm hoping it's just because these players have been out and stuff like that, so it's kind of hard to get a system. but we'll have to see what happens with them. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, well, just besides MLS, just give a huge shout out to the Houston Dash for winning the NWSL
That's true.
Cup Challenge on Sunday. So a big shout out to them, bringing the trophy to Houston. And I think that it was a wonderful tournament. A lot of viewers in this past game. So hopefully the game keeps growing, and excited to see Angel City come to this league in 2022.
Yeah, that's a very exciting. I did see Angel City tweet something out. They're like, "Is it 2022 already?" You know?
Well,
So
we're trying
yeah,
to get it out this year already, man. So
yeah, I see
hopefully.
they're very active on their Twitter and they're very active on Instagram. They're posting things about like the Sparks. They're posting things about the Dodgers. You know, they're posting things about baseball and stuff like that. So they're trying to be very community based and really trying to grow their thing. I think they're over like 50,000 followers on Instagram,
Already.
which is crazy. You know, so they're
I've
trying to
been
grow.
on social media years, man. Can't pass 300 mark.
Yeah, well, when you're a club like that and you got a big following,
Yeah,
yeah, things like that happen.
but it's
Um,
exciting.
it's very exciting with everything going on. You know, you're gonna finally have a women's soccer club in LA, and it's just gonna grow a lot of things there. You know, so with that, guys, please give us a follow at LA Soccer Hub on. You know, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and everything, and we're also turning these live streams into podcasts. So if you get a chance, check us out at LA Soccer Hub on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, you can find this podcast. Just search LA Soccer Hub. Give us a like, give us a 5-star rating if you're on Apple. Helps grow the show, it helps grow the awareness. But Gustavo, yeah, let the people know where they can follow you.
Yeah, like always, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Gustavo_A_Ortega. I'm always there to talk about soccer, what you guys like about the league, what you guys don't like. LA Galaxy, I mean, share your thoughts. LA Galaxy fans, I should say, share your thoughts about this team. Let us know how you guys feel. LAFC fans, I'm sure you guys are happy as hell right now because of how the team is playing. So, congratulations to you guys. It's another important game on Friday night. Hopefully, we'll be there to watch it and hopefully to talk to you guys about it. Hopefully on a positive note
Mhm.
rather than a negative one. But yeah, stay tuned. We're here for you guys and follow our LA Soccer Hub.
Yeah, guys, obviously you guys can follow me at Gio Garcia LA on Twitter. You know, just tweeting certain things out, trying to get as much content as I can to everybody out there. But yeah, it has been a great show. Gustavo, I'll see you Friday. Hopefully we can do one after the game. If not, we'll
Right?
do one later on.
Game's
'Cause I
early,
do,
right?
the game's at 4:30, so assume by that time they'll be done. I may want to probably hop on the press conference for a little bit, and then
Hmm.
and we potentially do a live stream like late Friday night or something like that.
Sounds good.
Um, but we'll get into that. But guys, again, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.